DuckTalks is part of Res TV's network of podcasts. Check out res.tv for other great podcasts.
So, how much secret science time do we have today?
A few hours. FAL is busy on their own missions, so nobody should notice if I hijack their servers for a little private world building.
Collaboration in action. That's what the Gizmo Cloud is all about.
Meh.
I planned alternatives. The Gizmo Void, Gizmo Space, Gizmotopia.
Yeah, it wasn't the cloud part I had a problem with.
It's the week of Wednesday, February 24th, and you're listening to episode 122 of DuckTalks. Well, we have new episodes, or a new episode of DuckTales to kick us off with a brand new episode of DuckTalks. We'll be reviewing that later. But before that, we're going to just talk about a little bit of news and a little bit of duck merch, things like that. Just have a little bit of conversation, because that's what we do here at DuckTalks. For those of you who have never caught the podcast, we are a DuckTales and Disney Afternooniverse fan podcast. And I guess in a few weeks, we'll mainly just be a Disney Afternooniverse fan podcast. But yeah, we're going to talk about all things DuckTales with the current 2017 DuckTales reboot. And then, anything else that happens to come up, like Gargoyles merch. Maybe some Mighty Duck stuff. I don't know. We'll see where the conversation goes. For those of you who've come back, I know it's been a little while. Thank you for being patient. We're glad to be back with an episode. Glad to have new episodes of DuckTales to review. And let's jump into it. My name's Mitch. I'm one of your hosts. Joining me this week, I have my pals Pirate Steven and Josh.
Ahoy there.
Hey guys, how's it going?
It's crazy as normal, as it's been for the last little while. What was it like getting back into watching DuckTales this week, guys?
For me, it was great. I try to avoid all the spoilers. I don't always get the episode right away, but it felt good to finally be getting those new episodes, and I'm excited to see where they're going for the rest of the season.
Yeah, they hit another home run with this episode. It was fantastic. I loved watching it. My kids loved it. Great all around.
Yeah, I was disappointed with the announcement that the show was going to return on Monday nights. We've chronicled that here on this podcast. It makes it kind of difficult to watch and not be spoiled. And then there's the whole being part of the community and providing content and, man, the Discord. Thankfully, we have a spoiler tag so everybody can hide what they're saying and force people to click on it to read it. But I was dodging those spoilers all day on Monday, and then Tuesday we got up and watched it, and you're right, Pirate, it's a great episode.
Yeah, it was really great. I feel like it completed the GizmoDuck versus Mark Beaks arc very well. From the couple episodes. I think there's mainly 3 episodes where GizmoDuck goes up against him with who is GizmoDuck and the chemistry dangerous chemistry of Gandra D. Is that what that one was called?
Yeah. Well, and
something like that.
But Beaks was there at the beginning too with what was the name of the computer that drove the car?
The buddy system.
The buddy system.
Beware the buddy
system. So he was in all of those. So is that 4? Yeah. I can do math.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. He was there as well. What had me thinking about that was during the episode there was a character who brings up the fact that he's tried 5 times. So I was wondering, there's at least one time we haven't seen.
That character looked familiar.
Which is the one where he becomes Mega Beaks?
That was the Gandra D.
Oh, that's Gandra D. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. So there was a character that may or may not have looked familiar. We had a lot of fun with that. I started getting messages on Monday about the reporter possibly being a cameo of Mitch in DuckTales. And I don't know. It's possible. It kind of looks. I
think you should take it, man. I mean, it kind of looks very much like your original Duck Sona from the Duck Yourself app, and it had the same kind of hair, maybe different little color.
Yeah.
He had round glasses instead of your square glasses that you have as your Duck Sona. But I was like, wait a minute.
Well, and he's a reporter, and he's the only reporter there, so I imagine he's like reporting for a blog and not a major publication.
Right.
And he was wearing blue, and my character always wears blue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe.
Take it, because if he would have had a pirate hat, I'd be like, that's me.
Well, in the Glomgold episode, the Duke Baloney episode, I kept looking for a duck with a pirate hat in that one. I was rooting for you.
Next week is Tailspin episode, so
there's
pirates.
So we'll see.
Oh man,
come on, Frank.
That's right.
Let me do it.
Well, and maybe Josh shows up in the villain episode.
That would be excellent.
That's fun. Yeah, I had a few people message me about that, and before I'd even seen the episode, so I was like, okay, who has a screenshot? Somebody's got to send me this. It was a lot of fun. Of course, I posted it on Twitter, just having fun with it, and a lot of people agreed, and there as well. And then, but no confirmation, nobody. And also voiced by Eric Baza, and I love beagles, right? So, I mean, of course they would ask Eric to do it. I mean, it just makes sense. It's Mitch. We're calling him Mitch. The reporter is Mitch. All right. Well,
I got my fingers crossed that Keith Ferguson is going to voice me in my episode.
Josh, you got to hope for a voice actor.
Oh, I haven't thought about it yet. I'm going to have to think about that.
Just let us know whenever you come up with it.
All right.
Well, let's jump into some news because we've got quite a bit to cover where we've had a few weeks off. There's been, we had a promo come out for these next few episodes that got everybody excited. It ran on Disney XD. I don't know was it ever officially released online? I think it's only been on the cable channel and maybe the Disney Now app. I don't think I've seen an official.
I don't think it made it to YouTube yet, unless someone recorded it from their TV.
Yeah. There are those. We know of some of those. We used them in our blogs, but I don't think it officially is on there. You had to catch it while it was on cable, of course. Like Pyra said, people got your back. You can find it on our blog. But we got that, and everybody got excited, and everybody started. The discussion of how many episodes are left, and that became a big thing, trying to calculate how many episodes are left in the season. And then we got the official announcement. Before we got the official announcement on episodes, I think we got the official announcement on the finale, which this was something we had kind of guessed was happening because of the secrecy, but we weren't sure if it was going to take up multiple episodes or if it was going to be in addition to the 22-minute episodes that the season was going to have. Ended up being 3 22-minute episodes of DuckTales are going to make up the finale. And they had a really cool press release, and some outlets covered it as well, letting everyone know that there will be a 90-minute series finale special on Monday, March 15th at 7 p.m. on Disney XD. So yeah, you're going to get an hour and a half on the cable channel. So that means you're getting 3 22-minute episodes. I think there's been some conversation online among everybody trying to calculate whether there would be actually 90 minutes of episodes. I don't think that's the case. I think it'll be 66 minutes of actual episode, but it's going to be a series finale special on the cable channel on Disney XD and Disney Now. And they also announced that it would be unlocked. It would be unlocked for Disney Now without a subscription. So it will be open for everyone immediately. So that's really, really cool. And then the announcement includes that the 75 episodes and 15 shorts, the series will continue to be available on Disney channels and Disney Plus around the world. So we are expecting the show to make its move over to Disney Plus pretty soon, we hope.
Yeah, I believe I thought it was March 15th in the UK. I thought I saw an announcement where season 3 was going to be released on Disney Plus that day. So
Nice.
it's the same day as the finale. I don't know if that's going to be realistic or not, but great that the UK is finally getting those season 3 episodes.
Yeah, the UK doesn't have Disney XD anymore. Is that right? So they've been missing these episodes that have aired. I think that's what we've heard. We have a number of people from all over the world that reach out to our blog asking about the programming for the show, and it's hard to cover because, especially since Disney XD has been closing down in a lot of countries. But I believe I had a conversation a while back with someone who said they were having to find the episodes because they weren't able to listen to them, weren't able to watch them over on Disney XD anymore. It wasn't available. But yeah, and then there's a huge list of people who are going to be in this finale. Of course, the main family, all of your main characters are there. And then we had a few additional characters. I'm trying to scroll down in our notes to find it. There's a list of several. Here it is. So we've got Lin-Manuel Miranda is going to return for the finale. We've got Giancarlo Esposito. So we've got the Phantom Blot. Let's see. Jamila Jamil is going to be there. So we're going to have more Gandra D. Catherine Tate. So we're getting Magica. We've got Gosselin confirmed. Paul F. Tompkins. Jim Rash. We got Ma Beagle. We've got Steelbeak. So there's a lot of characters that are returning, a lot of foul agents. Jaleel White will return, so we're looking at Gene the Genie. And then there's a couple of names that I'm not familiar with. I believe at least one of them was a voice actress on Wonder Over Yonder, but they are guest starring as the sisters June and May, respectively.
Dun, dun, dun.
And you know what?
We have theories on those, but we're not going to talk about them because then people are going to say we spoiled it because we're usually right.
We're usually right
all the time.
Yeah, we have shared our theories amongst ourselves, and of course, we've had people email us, so we'll be able to declare if we were right. But I think it's interesting. We've had people ask us about these characters. April, May, and June are the nieces of Daisy Duck in the Duck universe, and not necessarily DuckTales, we don't know, but in the Duck universe. And people have been asking since the beginning if we thought they would show up. And we were like, who knows? Probably not. This one looks like it's happening in some form.
But you need to watch The Legend of the Three Caballeros.
Yes.
That's on Disney Plus because that has April, May, and June in it. If you want to get some kind of see what these characters are about, they're really funny and fun in that series. And if you haven't watched, what are you doing if you haven't watched Legend of the Three Caballeros yet?
Yeah, that's a great series.
There's a lot of great Muppet content on Disney Plus, but you should definitely check out Legend of the Three Caballeros by our good friend Matt Danner.
Mm-hmm. And we actually wrote a blog about April, May, and June a while back. Maybe we should repost it because it's got a lot of good information about the characters and some history.
Great point. We need to get on that.
So Casey had a question. I mean, we didn't see that D. Bradley Baker was going to be in the finale, and that's the voice of Bubba, the cave duck. So do you think Bubba and Tootsie are going to make an appearance? They are on the season 3 poster. I had to.
Yeah,
it's true. We know that Launchpad does go into the future and come back and say he's seen the end. Maybe there will be a little bit of time travel in there, and I hope to see a Launchpad popping in, trying to figure out what's going on, and then disappearing.
That would be fun. That would be fun. I think there's a good chance he shows up in these episodes, at least in the final episodes. Whether it's the finale or not, I don't know. But because he is on the poster, I think he shows up. Because we already had him in season 2, but he's on the season 3 poster.
So I think I'm already committed to staying up that night and watch it when it's released at 3 a.m. I know I say that a lot, and I don't make it because I'm older now. But I think for that one, and because I just know social media is going to ruin it, I feel like I'm at 3 a.m. I'm going to watch that 66-minute episode, which is almost the same length of the DuckTales movie. So we're really getting a movie at the end here.
Yeah.
I think the DuckTales movie might be 10 minutes longer than that, but the movie Dumbo is only 62 minutes. So this is like a full-length animated feature that I can't wait for. And there's all the people behind it are pumping it up so much and saying it's perfect. And I kind of trust them about that. So I can't wait.
So we ended up with 72 episodes in a movie.
In a movie, yeah, see?
Hopefully some movies in the future. Crossing my fingers.
Maybe. Yeah, so also included in this press release was the announcement of, and I have never had to say this word out loud, so is it Chibi? The Chibi Tiny Tales. This is going to premiere on Friday the 26th. That's this week, probably tomorrow after this may be posted. And I said before we recorded I was not going to say that on the podcast. Now I have. So Friday the 26th on Disney XD, Disney Now, and Disney Channel YouTube. And we're looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's the first of 3 episodes that they're going to do for the Chibi Tiny Tales DuckTales.
Have they confirmed if this is like that they're releasing one episode at a time, or is it all?
I think
it's gonna be one at a time.
Okay.
And they've done this for other franchises. I know I've seen them for Phineas and Ferb, and it was cute. It was really good. Phineas and Ferb, we know, is not they have movies now, but it's not a series that is continuing right now. But it's cool to see the characters appear in other media. So think of it as bonus DuckTales. I know people were kind of like, hey, their heads are so big and their bodies are so small. And then I started seeing that in so many comments, and I'm like, look, Wikipedia the name Chibi, and this is what it means. So it means oversized head and small body, a small arm, appendages, kind of chubby characters. That is what a chibi is, apparently, according to Wikipedia. Wikipedia has all the information.
So we have those to look forward to, and new episodes. So we have that. Following that release, we got the announcement of the episode titles, release dates, and short synopsis of each episode. So, of course, Beaks in the Shell was February 22nd. That's the episode that has aired, and we'll be reviewing later in this episode. Spoiler warning. And then the next episode is set to air on Monday, March the 1st, and it is very exciting. The Lost Cargo of Kit Cloudkicker. And our little synopsis says, a new but familiar ally helps find treasure on an island full of monsters. We've been looking forward to this episode. This is that tailspin episode that everybody's been talking about. We're going to get Kit Cloudkicker. We're going to get the Sea Duck. We're going to get Not the Wuzzles, all in one episode. We've got a few clips of this episode that we've seen, and it looks like it's going to be obviously a lot of fun. I was surprised that there's no mention of Molly, Danger Woman Cunningham, but she is on the season 3 poster, so I'm expecting her to be there. But there's also no announcement of a voice actress, so either someone we already know will be voicing her, or I guess she could still have a surprise voice actress that we don't know about, or she doesn't have a speaking role, which would be surprising. Right? I mean, we're all surprised.
Surprised.
We're speechless.
Yeah. I mean, this is an episode that I think a lot of people are looking forward to. I know I've seen people check out Tailspin for the first time now over on Disney Plus because they're getting ready for this episode. And it's funny, we still have a lot of people who responded to us sharing information about the promo and everything, saying, wait, why do you keep saying Kit? That's Baloo. It's like, no, it's a brown bear, man. It's Kit. It's a grown-up Kit who looks an awful lot like Baloo.
And we haven't seen Molly Cunningham, Danger Woman, We saw her at San Diego Comic-Con, so we know that she's in it, but we haven't seen her in any of the previews so far.
Right.
So do you think any other characters might be showing up, like maybe Shere Khan or?
I hope so. Well, I mean, we know from the promo that Don Carnage will be in it. So they'll be against Don Carnage, which we're hoping there's pirates. But I think we get a flashback with Baloo and Rebecca and Louie, but we won't get any speaking roles from those characters. I think Tailspin, this is the episode that Frank has alluded to, there being reasons why they couldn't use certain characters or something. Actually,
yeah, and then we got
and the Wuzzles.
We got a big Della episode. So all the Della fans who have been waiting for her emergence in a new episode will get to see this. And like you said, it's gonna have a lot of nostalgic in it. I know it's when they showed the Sea Duck plane or Hire for Hire, and when they showed Dewey riding the airfoil and just doing a really bad job at it, but it looks like it's gonna be a really funny scene. It's going to be a really great spin it, let's begin it episode, and we all need to thank Tanner Johnson after it's over, because even though he didn't technically say it was his, we know Tailspin is his baby, and he probably is going to be the director on that one.
Yeah, would there's been talk of that pitch and everything being out there, or at least Disney afternoon pitches and stuff. Would have loved for a continuation of Tailspin. Of course, when we spoke with him a few weeks back, he let us know how big of a fan he was of Tailspin. So,
yeah, I'm excited for Wuzzles too. Wuzzles, it only got 13 episodes, I believe, when it first aired, and like we've talked in previous podcasts, it was kind of going up against the Gummy Bears, Disney's Adventures of Gummy Bears, and it lost that battle, and only got those 13 episodes. But man, I remember having the plush and the toys, and I can't wait to see what other, not the Wuzzles they are, because we know about Rhinoki, who is the rhino / monkey / gorilla, looks like in this episode, and then also Bumblebee Bear. Is that what?
Bumble Bear?
Butterbear.
Butterbear. Yeah.
It was the other one that we kind of saw in the San Diego Comic-Con and also in the DuckTales season 3 poster. So I can't wait to see if any other ones like Bumble Lion will be in there or something, because it's gonna be fun. I bet you there's gonna be a lot. We're gonna be dissecting an episode for a while, I'm sure, trying to pick out all the hidden items and Easter eggs that are gonna be in it.
Yeah, with their spin on the characters, it kind of feels a lot like that episode with the Gummy Berry Juice, where it wasn't just like straightforward, here are these characters introduced and they're in the story, but more of them being something connected to the story, driving what's happening, but a little bit different for the DuckTales universe. I'm looking forward to that one. It's going to be a blast for sure. We also got, on March 8th, the following Monday, we'll have the life and crimes of Scrooge McDuck. In a mystical karmic court, Scrooge's enemies accuse him of making them evil. And in the promo for this episode, not the promo for the episode, but in the promo that we have, there are scenes from this episode, and we see Glomgold and Magica and Mob Eagle all together. And another thing that we see in the episode is that there's a clip from, it looks like Beagles from the past, so maybe we get a little bit more of that story of Beagleburg and how Scrooge took the town, and a origin story for Ma Beagle. Also expecting an origin story for Magica De Spell, and confirmed that Poe De Spell will be in this episode. And I can't think of the name of the guy that voices him. It just escaped me all of a sudden. He is from Sherlock Holmes, and he's from Black Panther and Civil War. Freeman. What's his first name?
Morgan?
No, not Morgan Freeman. Is it Mark? Mm-hmm. It's an M.
Mark. Let me look it up. It's Martin.
Martin. Yeah, it's not Mark Freeman. It's Martin Freeman. I don't know why.
I don't know why.
I hate when that happens.
I knew it started with M.
But anyway, he's going to be the voice of Potispell. So another great actor on the show. I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing what they do with Magica's origin story. And we've already had Glomgold's origin story. Do you think he makes up a new one or something for this episode?
Yeah, he's got to. Yeah, hopefully he gets
every time it's something to do.
But also, the Fonz is in this one, Henry Winkler.
Yeah, he's going to be like the jailer or something.
It's good. It's a good role. It's a good role. Solid role there. But it's cool how they got Fonzie in there. And I obviously the name The Life and Crimes of Scrooge McDuck is a play off of Don Rosa's Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck. Literary masterpiece that I'm sure all of our listeners have already read through.
If you haven't, Fantagraphics has great publications.
Fantagraphics, go get it. It's a good time. But that is going to be a great episode. I'm sure it's going to set it all off for the finale the following week. And
speaking of which, on March 15th, The Last Adventure is the title of the 90-minute series finale. And it says the family must stop Fowl's plot to end their adventures once and for all. So the entire season and series will come to an end on March the 15th. And, you know, talking about that finale and the finales that we've had in the past, because we've had some great finales. You know, we had Shadow War with season 1, which had, you know, the family coming together to save Scrooge and, you know, some of the best Donald content I've ever seen on television. I Am the Storm is still one of my personal favorite scenes of DuckTales, period. And then in season 2, we had the Moonvasion two-parter where we had the entire world was in jeopardy, and the Ducks had to go to space and have a battle against the ruler of the moon. So pretty epic. This episode is going to be a little different, I think, based on a few things. One of which being the synopsis, it says the family versus Fowl. And then also in Frankly Speaking this week, Frank Angones has been answering a few questions over on Tumblr, and he was asked what we can expect from the series finale. And they mentioned seeing every character versus Fowl. And Frank said, it's not a straight up every character versus Fowl thing a la Moonvasion. It's a very big episode, but a bit more focused on characters than Moonvasion was. We wanted the stakes to be more personal than The Earth is Doomed. So this really is going to be something more personal. It's going to be the family versus Fowl. I think along the way as we get there, we're going to have more and more connections that's going to make this more personal. Having to do with some of those theories we won't throw out there just yet, but I think we've got big things coming. Let's do.
Yeah, my birthday's that week, so I get to be one of the people that say, "Oh, they gave it to me on my birthday." So I get the DuckTales finale that week.
Yeah, I put in PTO from work, and then I mentioned to my wife, can we take the kids out of school? And she goes, "What date is it?" She goes, "That's their spring break."
Yeah, it's spring break week. So I think whoever wants to stay up till 3 o'clock to watch it with me, I might be wearing my Launchpad cosplay, watching DuckTales at 3 a.m. on Monday, March 15th. It's going to be a good party. 66 minutes, 90 minutes if you count all the commercials. But Disney now doesn't really have commercials, so... Well, it does. You get some annoying...
You get a few in there. I wonder what they'll do in a 90-minute.
Fruit juice or... What?
I said I wonder how many... Yeah, it's a lot of toys and cereal.
Yeah, they keep playing that Pokemon Happy Meal commercial, which you can't find the Pokemon at McDonald's, so that was getting kind of annoying.
Well, we've been watching it over on Amazon Prime, so we get it without commercials. We just have to wait a day.
Yeah, for some reason, the episode's not on iTunes yet, and it's driving a lot of people crazy.
Yeah, I saw that today. You mentioned that, and then I saw James Silvani complaining about it.
Yeah, you can't have James not see the episode because he follows us now, and we're gonna spoil it for him.
Spoil it. He's going to stop following us. All right, we got to get on that. We got to start a campaign. All right, let's get into Duck Merch because this episode is going to be large. So in Duck Merch, we've got quite a few items coming up. One we've talked about a few times on the podcast, but we're getting close to the release. So we want to make sure we highlight it again for those of you who have missed it. Funko Games is about to put out a FunkoVerse game expansion, Darkwing Duck Edition. Pirate, I know you've been following this closely. It is apparently going to be an exclusive with a couple of stores, but maybe not that difficult for us to get our hands on.
Yeah, that's the good part because we first found out about this in November, where it appeared this expansion pack appeared on a Canadian website that sells games, and it had a February release date, which we're in February, but this game is actually going to be released on March 3rd on Funko's website, which you can order the game there if you like, or you can wait till March 4th, where the game will appear on Amazon. Get your good Amazon Prime, free shipping and such. And this is the first of the Darkwing Duck 30th anniversary merch tour. We're getting our first taste of it, which is going to be this expansion pack for the Funko Games FunkoVerse board game. So
and
definitely
it's got some
think
cool
everybody,
box art.
Yeah, everybody should get this. And we're like Funko Games is one of our new sponsors, so you're going to hear us talk about them a lot. We hope you like the Funko products. We know you do. So we're going to be talking about this specific FunkoVerse expansion pack. You do need to get, if you plan on playing the game and you're not just buying it for the Darkwing Duck pop that is in it, if you're planning to get the game, you need to buy a full version of the game because, like I said, this is an expansion pack. It just comes with a Darkwing Duck exclusive, you can't see the air quotes, exclusive Funko Pop, which is a little different than the one that was currently released, where he had his arms to his side in kind of like a superhero pose. This one, he has one arm like that, and the other one is outstretched, like it's like you could put something in his hand. And that is for a Darkwing's gas gun that comes with this game. This game is very compatible with all of the other FunkoVerse realms out there. They have Harry Potter, Jaws, Back to the Future, Jurassic Park, Nightmare Before Christmas, and so on. And you can put different items in the character's hands. So this one, you can put the actual item that comes with it, which would be the gas gun, which would be a really cool exclusive to have. And by the way, if you don't have this Darkwing Duck Funko Pop, the original one has been vaulted and it's really hard to find now. So if you wanted that Darkwing Duck Pop, you're going to go on eBay and you're going to pay $30, $40, maybe even plus $40 more dollars than that. To get Darkwing Duck. So this is a great way to get that pop if you wanted it. But I'm looking forward to it. I have not played FunkoVerse, but now that they're our sponsor, I'm going to be playing it a lot now. Mm-hmm. And I can't wait for this Darkwing Duck edition because, like I said, it's so rare to get Darkwing Duck, and now we're getting a exclusive expansion pack. Oh, and I probably should have mentioned before that this was announced for the Emerald City Comic-Con, which is a Comic-Con that's usually held in Seattle, Washington. And obviously everything is virtual still for cons, and everything's being held online. And that's why you're going to be able to get this both on Funko's website and on Amazon. So we're very blessed that it's going to be on Amazon and widely available for everybody to get their hands on.
Yeah, and like Steve was saying, it is an expansion of the game, and for those who haven't played it, it actually will work with any of the the games that they've released, because basically the gameplay is the same out of all the different versions, but you can just interchange the characters and play with those characters. So it's going to be pretty cool to try these out. Actually, I have the main game, but I've never bought any of the expansion characters like this. So I'm curious to see what it's going to come with, and I'm really excited for it because that's one that I definitely want because of Darkwing, obviously, but just because he's got a different pose, it's going to be really cool. And the figures are a little slightly smaller than the actual normal size pops. I don't know the exact height of them, but they're slightly smaller, but they're still just as good quality, and they work really good for the size of the game because the board has got like certain size requirements and stuff. So hopefully when we get it, we'll get to show it off to everybody and get a good review of it once it comes out.
I'm hoping it's going to be a big seller so that they can expand on it with other Disney Afternoon franchises. Like I would love to see a DuckTales one where you can play through Duckburg and then you can have your little St. Canard expansion pack to go into. I think it's cool. It's kind of like Disney Infinity where you can mash all of these different franchises together. So it looks really cool. And this is, as far as Disney goes and FunkoVerse, they had a Nightmare Before Christmas full version of the game. And then they also recently just announced that an Alice in Wonderland standalone version of the game is going to be coming out April 1st. So it's cool that they're adding Disney franchises to the FunkoVerse strategy game.
We need a Negaduck version for sure for this. And he can have a chainsaw instead of the gas gun.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah.
Well, and they have molds for many of the characters, so we could get a Tailspin expansion. Maybe a Chip and Dale one of these days. We definitely could have Monterey Jack in it, as long as they don't put those cheese eyes.
They tend to give us Monterey Jack, but none of the other characters.
Yeah. That's still
well. If you look at the action figures that they released with Funko, they did all the characters except for Monterey Jack, and then when it came to the Funko Pops, they've only got Monterey Jack. So he kind of look, if you put them all together, and I took a picture one time, kind of looks funny with him just in the big pop version, and then you got the action figures. But you know what? Maybe one day. Now that we talked to Funko, we can nudge him and say, "Hey, remember those Disney Afternoon figures?"
Yeah. There's a few of those I'd like to have to complete those collections. There's another pop that was announced for the Virtual Con connected to Disney Afternoon. There was Adventures of the Gummy Bears, which there's a line coming soon. It's not released yet. We've seen pictures of them.
No, it's out.
Is
a couple
it?
stores I've seen have it. It was supposed to come out last year. It got delayed for COVID. But it has almost all the Gummy Bears, except for Grammy, which is weird. I don't know when Grammy's going to be released, but all the other main Gummy Bears are there. And for Emerald Comic-Con being Emerald City, having a green theme to it, they picked the Green Ogre bad guy from Disney's Adventures of the Gummy Bears, which it's kind of an abstract character. You never would think that one of the random green ogres from the Gummy Bears would get a Funko Pop, but it's a limited edition of 3,000, and it'll be going up on Funko's website. And good luck to everybody that wants one, because that will be something rare to have in your Disney Afternoon Funko Pop collection.
Yeah, and it's something they could recolor later and do other versions.
Oh, yeah. There's several different color ogres in that series, so they could make additional ones.
I'm looking at the image in our notes, and it actually says 1,500 pieces, so less than 3,000.
Yeah, they raised it to 3,000, I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
Which is funny because a lot of the people that wanted it online that I've read the comments for wanted it because it was 1,500 and they could try to flip it. Now that it's 3,000, it might be easier to get on the website now because less people will try to flip it. So I know I'll try to get it. We'll see what happens.
Have you collected the Gummy Bears yet?
Size pop?
I haven't got the gummy bears yet, but eventually it's going to happen.
Do we know if it's the normal size pop or is it larger?
It looks like a normal size pop, which you would think it was a 6-incher because the ogres were quite large.
Bigger.
Yeah, I assumed it was a bigger one.
Yeah, I started my Gummy Bears rewatch on Disney Plus recently, so
Nice.
I gotta
Still
get
in
the
the
pops
Muppets.
now.
I'm in the Muppet Show.
Muppets, dinosaurs, yeah, it's in a rotation.
Yeah. Finishing up WandaVision, getting ready for Falcon and Winter Soldier. All right, Duck merch. Got to stay on topic. All I've got here is an image of a board game for Gargoyles. I don't know anything about this yet, but I know you and Josh have been talking about it.
I haven't really been able to take a big look at it, but I know it's coming later, I think in the fall.
It'll be out in August, and it's by
Yeah,
Ravensburg. And they're the geniuses. They came out with the villainous games, the Disney villain game that you see. I'm sure whenever you are at Target, you probably see them because that's one of their main places that sell that game. Especially it seems like every time they come out with the new villainous, Target gets the exclusives with exclusive pieces. But this game will be available in Target on August 1st, and it is Gargoyles themed, which is really cool. Bringing any new fans to Gargoyles is a great thing because maybe they'll reboot it one day. I know Greg Wiseman I saw in a recent interview said that he would love to do Gargoyles again because he has so many more stories to tell.
Yeah, he said pages.
There's a quick synopsis of it of the game. It says players face off against Xanatos and Demona and must save Coldstone's mind. And then Demona has stolen the Gregorium Arcorium, I think that's how you say it, and use the magic to enslave innocents. Players must collect 3 stolen data discs, and one player takes a role as Xanatos and the Steel Clan and tries to either defeat a hero or destroy the police tower, while the others try to defeat Xanatos. So it looks like one person's like the villain. Everybody must try and defeat the other person.
Oh,
so
we haven't done our rewatch of Gargoyles yet. I've watched a few episodes here or there, just kind of, that little nostalgic dive back into the show. But we haven't sat down and gone through it yet. I'm looking forward to that. But this game sounds pretty cool. I know I've heard a lot of great things about Villainous.
Yeah.
It looks like it's gonna sell for about $34.99 once it comes out. So that's not that bad.
All right. Well, I think that's everything in the notes for news and Duck merch. So we have an episode of DuckTales to discuss on the podcast, and this episode was titled "Beaks in the Shell," which was a nice nod, I think, to Ghost in the Shell. I saw some people realizing that online, which was a movie not too many years ago, but before that it was, I think, an anime, and before that it was a comic. Yeah. So I never read the series. I had friends who did, but I wasn't overly familiar with it. And but this episode was really great. Let's go through some of the information for the episode first. It was written by Ben Simon, and so the story was Francisco Angones, Madison Bateman, Colleen Evanson, Christian Magales, and Bob Snow. And then we had storyboards by Sam King, Catherine Marusic, Stefan Park, and Emmy Cicerega. And then it was directed by Jason Zurich. So a lot of names on there that we've known from episodes in the past. And Emmy was back on this one. I haven't heard anything about the story about that, but she was on the show in season 1. I don't remember if she had any episodes in season 2, but it was good seeing. I know some of her boards were pointed out online, and you could see some of the animation, and it was a lot of fun. But this episode as a whole, really great. I guess we'll just kind of go over a quick synopsis of it without our 30-second recap because we've dropped that. But we have, yeah, we're all fans of that. But we have, the episode opens up with your typical crime being stopped by GizmoDuck and Huey, who's along for the ride apparently, and it's Gandra D. But then we learn later that it was all a setup where Fowl sent Gandra after something. She tipped GizmoDuck. She tipped him off on the crime that was going to happen so that he could stop her. And apparently they've been working together on the Gizmo Cloud. Now it seems that he named that without letting her know because she wasn't overly thrilled with the name or any of his Gizmo options that he presented. But it was fun seeing the characters back together and seeing the continuation of that relationship. And Fenton's so awkward in the episode and in every episode that it makes for a lot of laughs.
Dr. Intern, what are you doing at the lab so late?
I was just pulling an all-nighter because I can't quite figure out this experiment because I'm not nearly as smart as you because you're so smart.
Sounds about right. Don't blow anything up.
Phew, finally alone. Mama, you're still awake?
I'm your mother. I don't sleep until you do. Why aren't you at home?
Just working late.
Que raro. Because I talked to your coworker, the horse thing, and he said you hadn't been in the lab all day.
Don't listen to Manny. His heart is in the right place, but his eyes are made of statue.
Are you seeing someone?
What? No! Oh, no, a dangerous lab accident. But not so dangerous, you need to come check on me. Talk later, Mama. Bye!
We get a lot of science and love, right, in this episode.
Yeah.
And it was actually interesting because we knew that Gandra D and Fenton were supposed to be together, especially from the original series, and then we knew that they liked each other in this series, but it kind of took it to a whole new level now that they were actually dating at this point. I was kind of behind everybody's backs. And because of it, Gandra decides like, hey, I don't need to be part of Fowl. I could be my own person, and I don't need to be behind this. And so it brought kind of the two together. I think that was something that needed to be done in the series. I liked Gandra D, and I like how they presented her, but I was hoping that at some point they would resolve the relationship between them, and I feel like they did that in this episode. And I think they did it in a fun way where they kind of like did it behind everybody's back, but then had to reveal it to everybody through this episode. And there's some really cool kind of callbacks to different types of movies in this episode too that really stood out to me, like the Back to the Future hoverboard and the Jurassic Park.
Didn't say the magic word.
Didn't say the magic word.
RoboCop in there as well.
RoboCop. So there's some really cool callbacks in this episode, and I felt like it was really well put together and kind of helped with resolving some of the storyline issues between Gandra D and Fenton.
Yeah, I like that they did that.
It seemed like Gandra D was really trying to I wouldn't say kill, but it seemed like she was going pretty hard against Webby and Dewey in that Swanstantine episode. So I wonder how this whole redemption happened between then and this episode.
Maybe we get some good fan fiction out of that. I mean,
like a comic.
Yeah, somebody can fill in that gap. That'd be a lot of fun.
I even brought up, and I called it, I believe. We'll have to check the podcast. But the Darkwing Ducks robot, Wanda, or is it Iwanda, is the same voice, is the voice of Gandra D. So Fenton programmed that computer with Gandra D's voice. So
he was obsessed.
Yeah.
I like that those two did come, whatever happened, her redemption that took place happened off screen. I like that. I think it really works. It dives into it. We didn't have enough episodes to see her go through that struggle and everything. And then I like that the whole struggle that she had was whether or not to leave behind Fowl, and and decide that she was worth it. Right, that was the whole thing for her. That was the struggle, and it worked really well with the episode. But I also liked how for Fenton it was that he was doing this, and he was hiding it from people in his life, like Gyro and Mama, and so he had to. He was trying. Huey finds out about it, and he convinces Huey to help him hide it. And then that doesn't go well, and Mark Beaks gets involved, and he has to ask Huey for help. And he's like, you can tell everybody. And so there's this whole story of the secret that they have that they've been working on, and it's really not so much the Cloud as it is their relationship. But I guess the Cloud kind of stands in for that because Gyro's amazed by it when he gets there, which says a lot. But they have this issue with it glitching, and they're trying to work that out. I thought the resolution to that was extremely silly because all they needed to do was make sure they closed all the apps or everything that was running in the background. And we've all run into that.
It makes sense.
When the iPad's not running right. When your super VR interface is not running right, make sure you close everything in the background, Control-Alt-Delete to fix it. So it was fun. And... but yeah, you have Beaks coming in and trying to take over, and then you have all these heroes coming in, and they get their own Gizmo armor within the virtual world, and that was cool. And we got older brother Huey back with long leg Huey. And I think it was Ben who said online that he had absolutely no say in that. As soon as it was said that everybody was getting GizmoDuck armor, he was told Huey had to have long legs.
So bored. Why, Huey? Why, Huey? Why?
That was a great part. And then you had all the different versions of the characters, and Mark Beaks takes on their powers because it's finally brought up to the forefront that all he does is steal everybody's ideas. And I think it's Gandra who tells him, he's just got a big head. And so he becomes a big head. She's like, you're still doing it. And that was...
Which is a Star Fox villain.
Yeah, Andros. With the head and the hands. You had to shoot the hands.
This was a great episode for, I think, a great Huey episode. I think Danny Pudi gave a great performance. And I loved Louie's little cameo of where he pretends to be Huey. He just wears the hat and he just talks all scientifically, and even he can't trick Mama.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Of course I know Fenton is GizmoDuck," and then he walks in the other room and goes, "If I'm going to do this, you've got to tell me something like Fenton is GizmoDuck." So now all the triplets know.
About time.
We have questions.
And I have answers, ready to address all your pressing concerns.
Why would Fenton keep another big secret from me? Especially after he didn't tell me he was GizmoDuck.
What? I mean, yes, because Fenton is GizmoDuck, something that I knew. Please excuse me for a second. Fenton is GizmoDuck? Man, if I'm gonna lie for you, I gotta know every detail. I'm sorry, Louie. Are they buying it? Do they think you're me? For now, but I can't hold them off forever. Please. This is for science and love. And 6 months of my allowance. Sorry, forgot to wash my hands.
Surprised it took Louie so long.
So the episode ends kind of on a cliffhanger, definitely leading into... I'm really not sure when we're going to get to this next part unless it's the next episode. So I thought we might speculate a little bit on that. So at the end of the episode, Gandra decides that she's going to pack up from Fowl, which she had already considered. She's going to pack up from Fowl and take all the Gizmo Cloud programming and leave. But as she gets ready to do that, she's caught by... Bradford. I don't know why I couldn't think of his name. It's been one of those nights, apparently. She gets caught by Bradford, who locks her up. And he says that he's sending her to the Lost Library. So we know she's going to be in the finale. So do you guys think we don't see the remainder of this episode or the Lost Library until the finale? Or do you think it fits into the Monster Island? I'm sure it's not going to fit into the Life and Crimes.
It could be Life and Crimes, but yeah, the Lost Library is actually a nod to a Don Rosa story titled "The Guardians of the Lost Library," and it's besides the life and times of Scrooge McDuck, I feel like it is definitely one of the fan favorites that he's ever done. It is if you ever have a chance to read it, I know it's in Don Rosa Library Volume 5, and it is very much like if you enjoy like the Nicolas Cage National Treasure type movies where everything is very all the historic facts like just impress you that Nicolas Cage's character knows. That's Scrooge McDuck and Don Rosa in this story, because it's a very smart comic book story where you actually learn stuff, and these are all real facts and places and treasure artifacts where you got to find the next clue to try to find this lost library. So I don't know if it's just the name that they were using to reference the lost library, but it's a great story if you ever have a chance to read it. And I'm sure if Don Rosa ever listens to this and finds out I compared his work to Nicolas Cage and National Treasure, that he'll probably try to find me and beat me up.
He loves movies. But you never know. You'll have to ask him on the next live stream.
He does like movies. Yeah. Oh, the live streams. Don Rosa's been doing some live streams. You should check him out on YouTube if you have a chance.
Yeah, we'll include a link because they're looking for people to subscribe. But yeah, that is one of my favorite Rosa stories outside of Life and Times for sure. And I really hope, we know this show was influenced by Don Rosa's work. We know that the producers have said that, and I think there could be some connections there because we have Isabella Finch, we have her connection to the Junior Woodchucks, and I mean there are little pebbles there that could possibly connect and would be somewhat similar to that story. So we don't want to spoil that story because you need to read it because it's got some twists. It's a lot of fun. Definitely read it before the end of DuckTales. So check it out, Fantagraphics, Volume 5. But yeah, I think overall, it was a great episode. I was excited to have the show back, but I think more than that, I think it came back with just a really great episode. The break that we had was pretty perfect. I mean, obviously we never liked the length, but as far as the bookends and the break and from December until now, very happy with this episode. One of my favorites, I think. More Gyro, more Fenton, more GizmoDuck, continuation of Huey's story and continuation of the overall season 3 story.
Yeah, I feel like it was a great episode to come back from a hiatus to enjoy.
I don't know that I know what happened to Mark Beaks, though.
He got punched, and it didn't show after that.
Yeah, I guess he's just there. All right, so yeah, I think that's going to be it. I'm going to try to get this episode out as soon as possible, and we'll be ready for another episode next week, and hopefully some more news and merchandise to talk about, maybe some merchandise reviews coming up soon on the podcast as well. So until next time.
Stay glom, golden, and dangerous.
If you can dream it, you can do it.
DuckTalks is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Any sounds or audio clips played on this podcast are the property of their copyright holders.